Okay, guys, we're here. We're back. I'm doing a podcast and I'm doing a video at the same time. So we want to talk about what are you looking for in your estimate? What are you looking for, price or cost? What's your deciding factor, price or cost? And people are going to say, well, what's the difference? There is no difference. The price is the cost, but that's not really true. So let's go back. So you get an estimate. Everybody does the same thing all the time. They're looking for, three estimates. Everybody has to get three estimates. Why do we have to get three estimates? Because you're trained to get three estimates. You don't believe that people are being honest, and you want to get all these different prices. So um, you call up three contractors. They all come out. Let's just say you're getting the interior of your house painted. So the whole interior, all the walls, all the ceilings, the trim. When you have the three estimators come out, you probably don't remember what you told each one. So maybe one you say, I'm going to paint all my rooms, but don't paint this bathroom. The other one you tell them we're going to paint everything, but don't paint the kitchen. The other guy you say, we're going to paint everything, but give me a separate price on all the trim. And by the time you get all these prices back, sometimes the contractors are so confused on what you told them during the estimate, it's impossible really to even compare these three estimates. But um, let's just say they all came back with the same price and everything is written the same way in the proposals and the estimates. So you have one price for 10,000, you have one price for 15,000, and you have, let's say our price is 20,000 to paint the whole house. Um, you go round and round. Everybody's following up. Usually, good contractors are following up if they haven't already followed up on site. So you see that 20,000, and you think, oh, geez, how are these guys charging so much money? It's ridiculous. I have a price for 10 and 15, and these guys are charging, double of the one. That's not right. They're trying to rip me off. They're so expensive. And the man in the middle, you think, well, he's in the middle, so he's kind of have a little bit of both. But I'm going to go with the low price. It's 10,000. Hey, I can save $10,000. I have to. That's worth it. Is it really worth it? Let's see. So you took the $10,000. You told everybody else, thanks for coming out, but you're way too high. So job starts. Everything seems to be going good. They do what they say. Walls or ceilings are done. Seems nothing to be wrong. So 6 months from now, everything that they caulked on the trim, all separated. You call them up, you tell them the trim's separated, and they never call you back. So now what do? You have to hire another contractor if it's bothering you, because interior generally it's cosmetic with caulk, unless you're at the windows. You have to hire another contractor. He's got to come out, recaulk everything that was caulked before. Hopefully, he doesn't have to repaint anything again, the trim or the walls, but best case, just say he's going to do some touch-ups. So, well, you forgot the other painter didn't leave any touch-up paint. So now you have to buy all new paint again. And guess what? The new paint doesn't touch up. So I'm going worst case here. So you had to pay a guy for 2 days to caulk everything, to knock out the caulk that was in there and recaulk everything again. So that's $1,200. So I'm going to get my calculator out right here. I'm not trying to do anything strange. So you're at 10,000 to start, plus 1,200. So you're at 11,200 now. That was just the recaulk and the initial price of the job. Plus now you have to repaint. Only touch up. Let's just say it's only touch up. So let's say they charge you $600 a day, and it included the paint. So let's say $650. That's an average fair price. So you had 11,850. That was just within 6 months of that last painting contractor coming back. Let's say that you also, you're working behind. You pulled out some of your furniture to clean, and you found out that the painting contractor got paint all over your antique furniture that you didn't know about. And again, you try to call them, but they're nowhere to be found. So now you have no insurance on it either. because the painting contractor's gone. You can't go to his insurance. He doesn't have one. He was working out of the back of his truck. Maybe he didn't have insurance. That's a whole nother story. So I'm going to say it's probably irreplaceable. So you have to get it cleaned. Let's say it costs you $500 to clean it. Now you're at $12,350. Let's go back to some of the walls on the inside. It's a year from now. The paint that they used, it's fading bad. It's fading bad. You can take your finger and you can draw your signature on the wall, and that may sound strange, but trust me, I've seen it. I've done it. I've drawn my name on the wall. It happens, and it's generally with cheap paint with darker, deeper colors. So unfortunately, you use darker, deeper colors in most of your rooms, and any room that the sun is shining on it, now they're all fading. So you have a big party coming up and you want to get these rooms painted again, and now you're under pressure. You need to get it done. You need to get it done quick. So you call out your 3 estimates again, and guess what? Now you're at, let's say, 4, 6, and 8. So, hey, I got to get this done. I don't care. I'm going to take the 4,000 because I have to save money again. So 4,000, you're at $16,350 right now from that first time that you got a price. That's not good. Now you're already higher than the middle guy, and you're really closer to the higher guy who had all this in his bid. He had all the top of the line caulk, which didn't really matter to you at the time because, hey, if you can buy a tube of caulk for $1.50 and there's one for $6, what's the difference, right? There is a difference, guys. There's a difference on everything you buy. If you're out shopping for a car and you're looking at a BMW and you buy the entry-level Ford, there is a difference. And again, it's going to be in the cost. That cheaper car, yeah, of course it's cheaper when you first buy it. But over years, you have to replace the transmission. You have to fix the wheels, the bearings went, or something else went. By the time you're done, you could have bought the brand new car in the first place. So you're at $16,350 in painting the interior of your home from that original $10,000. And who's to say you're done? You don't know. They might have put only one coat on when they told you they were putting 2. They might have put 2 on and only cut 1 where they brush in the top of the ceiling. I mean, these are tricks of the trade that the painters do. Maybe they're trying to, let me turn that phone off. Maybe they're trying to do it as quick as they can because they underestimated. That's a problem. So if they gave you a price of $10,000 and the other company doing it correctly said $20,000, by the time that $10,000 guy gets on site and realizes that he very underbid this job by a lot, he has to find ways to get this done and not lose money. He's not doing it for free. So he's going to use cheaper materials, cheaper labor, not pay taxes on it, maybe have no insurance. Liability insurance is cheap. So many people are going to come out and say, oh, we're fully insured, but do they have workman's compensation? Not having workman's compensation and somebody gets hurt in your house is just trouble. You don't want that. And companies that are subcontracting their work, if their subcontractors don't have workman's compensation, that's a whole nother story. So anytime you have people in your house, you want to have workman's compensation on them, and they should have a certificate for that also with their liability insurance. So tip of the day is make sure they have workman's compensation. They must have it. It's for the safety of the workers. If something happens, there's no argument, there's no lawsuits. They just go collect the workman's compensation. That's what it's there for. Any contractor should have that. So I can keep totaling up, and if we were on the outside of the home, there could be a lot more reasons why this price will shoot up. If you're doing an epoxy floor, things like that. But you want to use a contractor who has good relationships with his vendors. His vendors are, Sherwin-Williams and Benjamin Moore and his paint vendors, and any material that he gets, you want to have a good relationship with him, because if something happens, and it can, things happen in the contracting world. There could be coating failures. There could be this and that. Everybody has warranties, but usually warranties are only good for the application, that it was applied correctly. So, if we put paint down and that paint fails, that doesn't mean it's necessarily warranted. because generally we put down everything correctly. An incorrect application would be, say you have a brand new piece of wood and you just take finish paint and put it right on it. You've applied it incorrectly to the manufacturer's specifications, because on their can it's going to tell you that you needed a primer. It's going to tell you what type of primer you needed before you put that paint down. On a floor, specifications might call for a grinding. Maybe, I'm just saying off the top of my head. If you didn't grind and just put paint down, an epoxy paint on top of a sealed surface, you might have an issue, and that's where the manufacturer will come back and say, hey, this wasn't applied correctly. That's where you have some issues. So now, let's say everything was applied correctly. Now you have no warranty because it was applied correctly. A good company might come out and just touch it up for you anyway. But no warranty, you put down the product correctly, you have to go to the manufacturer now. And if the painting contractor has no relationship with that manufacturer, and you're only buying a gallon or two of paints from that manufacturer every year, good luck. Good luck. With us, we buy a lot of paint. So if I call up and say, hey, you know what, we're having a problem with this paint, generally they're not going to come out and check if it's an application or a paint issue. They're just going to give us the paint. Hey guys, go take care of this. Not a big deal. And same for us. If it's a small little item, we'll go do it. But if it's something more than that, then yeah, we have to get the manufacturer involved in it, because it's an added cost to somebody, either to the manufacturer, to the homeowner, or the painter. So you want to have a contractor with a good relationship with them. You want to have a contractor who's training his employees. You want to have a contractor who's training his employees on the new applications of these paints. These are the things that you need. Otherwise, you're going to have all these cheap bids. Everybody's going to come in with a cheaper bid. But something's going to be missing from it, guys. Something's always missing from it. So that's it. That's it for today. I'll talk to you guys soon.